Hello, today I would like to show you the first automated apartment block in South Bohemia. Behind me is the Oskarka residence, which is made up of more than 120 automated apartments and has a state-of-the-art energy management system. Let's take a closer look.
We are now in the utility room, where the technology from around the building is concentrated. Paul, what is Loxone doing here?
Sure enough, Pete, we are now in the room that is really the most important control center of this building, because originally, when this project was designed, all the technology and the room was supposed to be twice the size. But due to our forward planning from the beginning of the project, all of that technology is in one system to save some acquisition costs. We actually have a fairly easy option today. Right here we can watch everything happening from one place. If we start talking about, say, consumption from a facility manager's perspective, I don't have to go around to every floor today to take the appropriate reading from each water meter. But actually, with 2 clicks, I can get in and see clearly like this what the individual consumptions are. The big advantage of this is that we know about sudden water leaks and we can react long before any major damage is done, which you might not be able to tell so quickly under normal circumstances.
Right now we are in an apartment unit where the most important things have been solved thanks to Loxone, for example, the heating and energy metering. It is also possible to connect remotely, using the app, and monitor these factors of current consumption. Another important issue is dealing with access. How do we deal with that here?
The access system in this building was a really big issue for us, not only because there are actually several access points, with them being both at the front door and on each floor. And actually the biggest value add here is that the apartment owner will know when their doorbell rings, even if they are not actually home, due to the mobile phone app notifying them, so they can speak to the person who rang the bell and act accordingly.
So, here we are with Mr. Ulela from Italpa, Loxone's installation partner, who was in charge of this project. I would be interested to know what was most important to you, from your point of view, as an installer.
So I think it is the same thing here, as also in family homes, and that's a collaboration of all the technologies that are installed in the building. And the Loxone automation system puts all that technology in one place and thus simplifies it, so that if the user, installer, or building manager wants any information that they need to run the building, they can easily access it.
And now we are in a heat exchanger station, which is not exactly standard in development projects. Does Loxone control anything here as well?
Yes, of course, as in the whole building. It was also a first for us to drive a heat exchanger from a municipal heating plant. However, within the function blocks and the Loxone system, it doesn't really matter what source we are controlling, and the procedure is exactly the same. There are minor nuances with the connection to the heating system, but otherwise it is a normal heating system.
What impact does this solution have on the overall energy performance of the building?
There will definitely be savings because the heating system communicates with all of the apartments in the building, and thus avoids unnecessary operation of the pumps when they are not needed. For example, when flats do not want to be heated or relatively few of them want heat.
I notice we're in an open area here. There's a lot of pipes that don't freeze in the winter, right?
Certainly, Peter. In fact, the designers already had it planned in the project documentation, but a completely different system was originally proposed, in which it became clear that it was unnecessarily costly. It was very easy to replace this system, because the mini-server for this building was already in the cabinet. We used the weather station's data, which is used for shading technology, and based on that, we control the heating of these pipes.
More and more, I'm finding myself having to prepare to charge at a wall box. Was that thought of here?
If we look behind me in the corner, we can see the cable prep for the car charger. Of course, there's a lot more we can do here in the future. But the biggest added value here is that the customer can see the state of charge of their car from their apartment, on their mobile device. So what do you think? For the investor, we have reduced the acquisition costs. For the facility manager, we have everything under control, because we know about all operational conditions and errors, and can therefore react in time. And for the customer, they can see and change their household operating costs from anywhere.